first things first, I'm going to show you guys how to import a new background. So you're going to click on it right over here on the stage button on the left hand side of the screen, and then you're going to click in the middle on the middle tab where it says backdrops, and you see this icon right here. If you hover your mouse over it, it'll say choose backdrop from library, so we're going to click on that. And you can, for the sake of this example, I'm just going to add the brick wall, and we're going to click OK, and it's going to load it into Scratch, and we're good to go. Now for this example, I'm going to click on the backdrop just so that we don't have that distraction. Okay, now we're going to set up the first branch in our Choose Your Own Adventure game. So the first thing we need is in the Events tab. So we're going to go to the Events tab, and we're going to get the When Green Flag Clicked button. Now that we have that, we're going to go to Looks, and we're going to get a Save for 2 seconds block. And this is going to help you guys insert dialogue into your story. For the sake of this example, I'm just going to say something simple, like it's a nice day. Now that we have our simple dialogue set up, we are going to ask the player a question. So we're going to go to Sensing with this light blue color. We're going to get the Ask node, and we're just going to pop it right underneath that. Now, for the sake of this example, I'm going to ask a simple question, so I'm just going to ask simply left or right. Now that we have that, we need our if-then-else statement, and that is located in Control. So we're going to go to Control, and we're going to grab the if-then or else statement and put it directly underneath the Ask node. Now we need our equal operation, so we're going to go to Operators. We're going to get the equal operation, and we're going to put it in that little shape right there. Now that we have that, we're going to go back to Sensing. We're going to get the Answer node, and we're going to put it in the left square of the equal operation. Now that we have this, we can input an answer. So if we put in left right here, so now when the player answers left, then whatever you have right here, it will complete that because you typed in left. So now we're going to use the broadcast nodes, and they're located in the Events tab. So first we need the broadcast node. This is going to send the message, so we're going to put it in the first line, and we're going to hit this little black arrow right here, and we're going to create a new message. Now we're going to name this message left because that is what the answer is going to be. Now that we have this set up, we are going to get a When I Receive node, so that when this sends the message out, whatever is connected to here will be completed because this will receive the message. So we're going to click right here, this little black arrow, and we're going to click left. So now that we know this is going to send out the left message, and this is going to receive the left message. Now for this one, we're going to simply just have the background change. We're going to go back to the Looks tab. We're going to get the switch backdrop right here, and then click the little arrow. I'm going to have, when it goes to left, I'm going to have it go to the playground. And now we're going to do the same thing for the right answer. So we're going to go back to Events. We're going to get another broadcast node. We're going to put it directly underneath there. And we're going to create a new message. And we're going to name it right. So now we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to grab a right, or When I Receive node, and we're going to make sure that this one is going to receive right. Now we're going to go back to the Looks tab, and we're going to get a Switch Backdrop to node, and since the first one is going to the playground, then when you go right, you are going to go to the beach. So now that we have all of this set up, I'm going to click Save. Save now so that it's completely saved in case anything were to happen. Now, you notice that when I went to switch the backdrop, I accidentally clicked this and it switched the background. Now, in order to have it reset every time you complete your game, or you start your game, you're going to go to the Events tab. You're going to grab a when green flag clicked, and you're going to put it right next to this first line of code. And you're going to go back to the Looks tab. You're going to get a switch backdrop node and put it directly underneath there, and click on the little black arrow, and you're going to click on backdrop 1, and that will be the blank one. So now when we hit the green flag, it's going to say hello, it's a nice day. It also switched the backdrop. Now it's going to ask our simple question, left or right. So you'll see when I type in left, it's going to take me to the playground. So now I'm going to do it one more time so we can go to the right. So I'm going to hit the red stop sign, and I'm going to hit the green flag, and you'll see it resets itself. And now I'm going to type in right. And it takes us to the beach. Okay, so now that we have this first part set up, I'm going to show you an easy way to have a copy of your code so you don't have to set up everything else again. So first things first, we are just going to replicate everything from the ask node down. So first we're going to grab our ask node, we're going to put it right there, and now we're going to delete the text inside so it's completely fresh. Next we're going to go to control, we're going to get our if then else statement. Now we're going to go to operators and get our equal sign. Now we're going to go back to sensing. We're going to get the ask node and we're going to pop it in there. Now we are going to go to the events tab and we're going to get a broadcast node, and we're going to put one in each of those slots. So now that we have this set up, we don't have to mess with this again. The only thing that we have to change now is inputting the information and creating the new messages. So now that we have this part set up, if we click this little arrow on the bottom, you'll see where it says backpack. Then this little section pops up right here. If you drag and drop this whole thing, it'll keep a copy of it. So now all we have to do is drag and drop this, and we can stick it directly underneath whatever code that we want. Okay, now that we have this first part set up and it takes us to our first locations, we are going to set up how to continue on the code with these different branches. So I'm going to go ahead and shift this to the left side and the right side respectively. So now when we go left, we go to the playground, and we go right, we go to the beach. So now we are going to ask we're going to ask more questions. So for the playground, I put in the baseball diamond and the basketball court. So I'm going to ask that. So baseball diamond or basketball court. And after that, now we're going to go to the beach, and for the beach I brought in the boardwalk in the underwater backgrounds. So I'm going to type in boardwalk or underwater for a swim. So now that we have the questions answered, we're just going to focus on just the left side for right now. And so I'm going to put in, since the first thing I asked was baseball diamond, so I'm going to type in baseball. Yep. And now that we have that, we are going to go to the broadcast node. We're going to click the little black arrow, and we're going to create a new message, and we're going to name this, I'm just going to name the message baseball. I'm going to click OK. And for the second one, we're just going to go ahead and create a new message for that one. and we're going to, this name of this message is going to be called basketball. So I'm going to click OK. We have this set up. Let me go ahead and stop that. Now we are going to get a when I receive node, and we're going to put them right underneath the left side of the code. So now we're going to go back to looks. We're going to get a switch backdrop node. We're going to put it directly, we're going to put one underneath each of the when I receive nodes, and we're going to switch the first one to baseball, so it's going to receive the baseball message. And for the backdrop, we're going to click the little arrow and we're going to go to the baseball field. Now we're going to go to the one directly underneath it, and this is the basketball court. So we're going to click the little arrow, we're going to have it receive the basketball message, and we are going to switch it to the basketball court background. Okay, now that we have the left side set up, we're going to go ahead and work on the right side. So now for the same thing, the first thing I said was boardwalk, so I'm going to type in boardwalk for the answer. And I'm going to broadcast for the first one. I'm going to create a new message, and we're going to name this message boardwalk. And for the second one, we're going to create a new message, and we're going to call it underwater. So now the same thing, we're going to go back to the events tab. We're going to grab two of the when I receive nodes and park them directly underneath the right side. We're going to go back to looks. We're going to grab a switch backdrop node for each of the when I receive nodes. And since now we are going to click the little black arrow on the when I receive, make sure the first one says boardwalk, and we're going to switch the backdrop to the boardwalk. And now for the second one, we're going to switch it to underwater, so the message is going to be underwater, and then we are going to switch it to the underwater backdrop. Now that we have both the left side and the right side created, I'm going to go ahead and click save just in case. I'm going to press the green flag, and it's going to go through all of our code the same way it did before with the new add-ons. So now we're going to go to the right side. That's where the beach is, and it's going to ask us boardwalk or underwater. And I'm going to go ahead and say underwater. And now we are underwater. I'm going to do the same thing for the left side. I'm going to hit the green flag one more time. And it's going to ask us left or right. So right now we are going to say left. It's going to take us to the playground. Now we're going to say baseball diamond or basketball court. So for this one I'm going to say baseball diamond, and it takes us to the baseball diamond. Okay, so now I'm going to give a overview of what we have accomplished. So when I hit the green flag, you'll see that whatever code is currently activated has this yellow halo around it, meaning that it is currently running. So I'm going to type in left, and we already went to the baseball diamond, so now we're going to go to the basketball court. And we are at the basketball court. And I'm going to do it one more time. This time we're going to go to the right. And we've already went underwater, so now we're going to go to the boardwalk. And now we're at the boardwalk. So when you continue on after this point to continue your code, we already have that fresh code set up in the backpack, so you can just drag and drop it. And you can place it underneath all of the new branches that you're going to create for your storyline. Just like so. So you would go in and continue your storyline. Now organization is key, because all of this can get a little confusing if it's all in different spots. So you see how I have it set up. This is the start, and then from the start these are two options, and then from the two options I have these are the right choices and these are the left choices. So always make sure to keep everything organized to help yourself out a lot. Another thing to note is that if you want to test out your game and you don't want to go through all of the first part again, you can just click on whatever code you want it to run and it'll go directly to that, so that way you don't have to start from here and go all the way to different places. And that concludes a demonstration on how to start your Choose Your Own Adventure game.